And I said to the man, I said, how much is a room? He said, it'll be £50 a night. My wife said, what did he say? He said, it'll be £50 a night. Listen, you silly shit. He said, would you like a bathroom or a bath, or would you like a shower? He said, what did he say? He said, you want a bath or a shower? I said, we'll have a bath, thank you. He said, would you like a single, a twin, or a double? She said, what did he say? Shit. He said, you want a twin or a double? He said, where are you from? I said, I'm from Cornwall. She said, what did he say? He asked me where we're from. I said, we're from Cornwall. He said, you know, he said, I had the worst shag I ever had in my life in Cornwall. She said, what did he say? He said he thinks he knows you. But Denzel, he had a baker's shop then. He was doing the baking, and when people come in, he served all the sorts of rolls and fancies, and the health and safety man came in. He said, you can't do that, not now, not with political correctness in Europe. Bastards. Bastards over there. He said, he said, you gotta clean yourself up now. He said, I'm giving you 6 weeks to get this tidier. Well, he came in last week, and Denzel's serving everything with the tongs. He said, that's good. That is good. I'm glad to see that. He said, I use the tongs all the time. He said, you're a good boy. He said, what's the piece of string hanging out your shirt? Well, he said, when I go for a piss, I undo my flivver and pull my cock out with a string. He said, that's very good. He said, how do you get it back? He said, the tongs. Yeah. You know, he was out diving, and he come up in the boat, Jethro, he said, a shark have bitten my leg off. I said, which one? He said, I don't know, they all look the same. But when we was in Taunton, we never had any money. I said, I'll tell you what we'll do, Denzel, we'll have a drink. What we'll do, you get a hog's pudding, and when I give you the nod, you hanging out your fly front, and I'll get down and bite the end of it. And I said, the landlord will say, get out, you filthy bastards. We don't have twats like you in here. Well, we got the hog's pudding and went in the first pub. I said, 2 pints of bitter, please. We started drinking. He out with the hog's pudding. I got down and bite the hog's pudding. Get out, you dirty bastards, he said. We don't want bastards like you. Well, it worked very well. After about 10 pubs, I said, Denzel, I think we'll do one more pub and then we'll leave it at that. He said, I think we should, because I lost the hog's pudding 5 pubs ago. They've asked me tonight if I would sing a very old Devonshire folk song for you. It's Tom Pearce's Grey Mare. But it was 84 verses, and it'll get on your piss and tripe. So what I've done is I've taken this beautiful old traditional song written years ago by a man called Sabine Baring-Gould. And I've taken this famous old song and I've shortened it tonight for you. Tom Pearce's Grey Mare, especially shortened for this occasion here in Yeovil tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I shall sing this completely unaccompanied. I sing a lot of folk songs. Who remember that beautiful song I wrote? I love to walk the hills and dales along the river banks. I once stepped on a fellow's ass, a woman shouted thanks. You remember that? Yeah. And if you all remember that famous song of mine, you only look half as ugly when I close one eye. And the lovely one I wrote, going back now. If you ever leave me, walk out backwards, so I think you're coming in. I've written them all. Meet me outside the pawn shop and I'll kiss you under the balls. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Tom Pearce's Grey Mare, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Tom Pearce, lend me your grey mare. No. was talking about. Hey, down where we go, there's a late bus that runs, and there's a nun on the bus. Oh, shit, you listen. There's a nun on the bus, and the driver's driving on, and she said, "Are you married?" He said, "No, I'm not married." Oh, she said, "That's unusual, isn't it?" She said, "You're not married?" She said, "You know, I'm a nun. I don't want to die without experience a man, you know." Well, he said, "I'm not married." She said, "Well, we're running a bit early. Perhaps you could stop the bus and split my whiskers." Well, he stopped the bus, and she said, "Look," she said, "I am a nun. I must die virginal. You mustn't give me one. Perhaps you could give me one up the selection box." Well, he said, I'll try it. Well, he gave her one up the asshole, the nun, disgusting. When he finished, he said, "I must tell you the truth, my dear." He said, "I am married, and I got 3 children." And she said, "I must tell you the truth. I'm not a nun, I'm a postman." Now, later on the show, of course, we should be asking more serious questions for you, so get your papers out. And we should be hearing what happened when I was in Spain. Anybody from Spain? Let's talk amongst yourself. But I was in Spain. I went for a meal in Spain. It was bloody good. They gave me a lovely meal with some lovely meatballs. They're bloody good. And I said to the man, "I liked that, I enjoyed that." I said, "What was it?" He said, "It was the balls of the bull from the bullfight." Right. So I meet the bull's knackers. Shit, well, I said I wouldn't have ate it. But now I've ate it, I would eat it again. Well, I went in the next night, and I had the same, but the balls weren't so big. I said, "Why is it that last night the bull was so much bigger?" Well, they said, "Sometimes the bull wins." Do you know that Denzel is a twat? He doesn't know the difference between incest and arson. And every Friday afternoon, he set fire to his sister. But he wears a kilt because he's part Scot. And his mother said, "Denzel, you should wear a little bit under your little pair of pants because he's a big boy." When he went to school, he was excused from wearing short trousers. She said, well, he said, "Give some." Well, she brought back 3.5 yards. Said, "You don't need 3.5 yards to make a pants for you. You'll need half a yard." Well, she made up little pants, and it was all right. But you know what he's like. He went down through Trebogus High Street with a kilt on, and he thought he had his pants on. He thought he did, but he never. Well, he met my Auntie Mildred, and she said, "I like your kilt, Denzel." He said, "You look at that. What do you think of that?" He said, "You needn't look frightened." He said, "I got 3 yards or more like that."